What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and I hope everybody had a beautiful Christmas. I had a very good Christmas myself. I spent time with family, opened gifts, ate good food, gained about 85 billion pounds. But now it is the day after Christmas. I am back at it, and I am at Cypress Lawn Cemetery in Colma, California. This cemetery is, again, one of my favorites. I have a couple of super duper favorites in Colma, and Cypress Lawn is for sure one of them. So I think right now I see no other cars in here. So far when I've driven in, I see no other cars. I see no other people in here. I think we're by ourselves. So let's go explore. This is the final resting place of James Della Montagna. He was a gold rush hardware entrepreneur, and he bred racehorses. Look at this. Out of all of the spots in this cemetery, this one right here is probably my absolute favorite. Now, last time I was here, it looked as though there was some kind of possible restoration going on. It doesn't look like there was much progress on the outside of this thing, but on the inside, I'm gonna go closer to the door to look in to see. There were like support beams that looked like they were set up inside, and James is in here with various family members as well. Let's try not to fall going up the stairs. Looks like someone had put some flowers here a while back, and it looks as though, yes, there are still beams set up inside here. I would assume this thing was crumbling, because on the outside it looks as though it's crumbling, and it still looks like there was something going on here, but it's been halted. And as you can see, right hand side straight ahead on the bottom there, that is James right there. Kind of hard to see around all this timber and lumber inside there holding this place up. So it looks like 1899 he passed. I do believe what I could see from out here. It looks as though Find a Grave has his birth at the year 1819. There is no other, there's no month or day listed on Find a Grave. And it looks like he passed September 18th, 1899. So there wasn't a whole lot of birth info on James. Very, very cool though. This is a very cool monument. And on the bottom left here we have James's wife, Sarah Jane, or as she's known, probably Jenny Horn Della Montagna. She was born February 9th, 1831 and passed August 23rd, 1917. Both of them were in San Francisco, California. There's the gate, maybe like what, like a family crest or something above the door here. Very, very cool. And like I said, this thing is just starting to fall apart. It's starting to crumble. It looks as though, as you can see here, looks like up top there's possibly like a gargoyle of some kind or something with a head missing, it looks like. You know, and on the outside here is this beautiful pattern too. And let's look throughout this. I mean, for as old as it is, it looks like it's holding up fairly well. It just looks like the inside, like I said, the inside must have been coming down because they have those support beams. Ground is soft out here. We've had a lot of rain the last couple of days. There's like another statue or gargoyle there with a head missing, it looks as though. And on the back side of this is, I guess this would be, what they call, correct me if I'm wrong, the burial chamber, or whatever they would call that. I do believe it's a burial chamber. But that's the back side where you know, where I was shown in the front where the nameplates were. Well, this is where they actually rest back here, it looks like. I know I spent a lot of time on this one, but like I said, this is probably in here like my absolute favorite. It's just very, very unique and very, very beautiful. And right across from the place I was just at, we have the chapel here. This thing is just beautiful. I would love to go inside, but I'm not sure if it's just freely open to go roam around. But this would be super cool. I wonder if the groundskeepers would have access to it. They probably do. There's a couple of guys over there. I don't know if they'd think I was nuts or what, but I wonder if they would let me in. Here is the final resting place of Andrew Pope. Andrew built a thriving lumber business during the gold rush and later expanded the company into the Pope and Talbot shipping and lumber business. Looks like he's got his spouse, Emily Foster Talbot Pope, infant son, Pope, Charles E. Pope, and then George Andrew Pope, which were the children, it looks like. This looks like it's pretty clean inside as well. I think the children are not in here though. I just re-looked at the Find a Grave app, and well, actually, hold on. This thing's beautiful. It's dark in here today. Actually, I think the children are in here. I see some more popes. Charles Pope. Yeah, I see the children in here as well, it looks like. These are very, very awesome faceplates. I might zoom in on these in a sec. Beautiful inside. It's still clean. There's on the floor, there's two stones. George A. Pope Jr., November 12th, 1901 to January 27th, 1979. And Patricia, May 12th, 1927 to August 4th, 2020. Oh, Patricia just passed, but I think these are cremation containers right here on the floor, it looks like. Oh, I got it. Jeffrey. There's several people in here. It's kind of hard to see though through the glass right now and at the angle. There's actually another grave area, family area up here that I want to show you, and it's kind of crazy looking. I'll show you what happened. This one to me is pretty unique. It draws my attention. As you can see, it's the Vanbergen family, and it is underground. It's really low on the hillside here. That's the top stone, but down here is the door. Now, every winter I've noticed, as you guys could probably see here, this one has flooded. It floods every winter. I guess when they built this thing, I guess they weren't really probably accounting for rainwater coming up in here and flooding the bottom area where you walk into it. But even if I could get close enough to the door, it looks like the window's pretty dirty and covered with stuff that I don't think I could even see inside. So inside of here we have, I found on Find a Grave, Harriet Frances Vanbergen and a Howard H. Vanbergen. Harriet Frances, birth unknown, death 30th of April 1901. And Howard H., birth April 1886, death 1903. This was must have been a child. It says aged 15 to 16 years old. Very interesting here. And right up the hill from the Vanbergen spot I just showed you, there's more family, I do believe. And it looks like we have well, the stone has been turned over, but it is John William Vanbergen. I found a newspaper clipping on Find a Grave, actually. It says, the late John W. Vanbergen was one of the men who contributed much to the upbuilding of the city of San Francisco, and a work of this nature would not be complete without mention of this worthy man. Born in the city of New York, May 31st, 1853, he came to San Francisco with his parents in 1856, and up to the time of his death in 1898 was one of the leading citizens of San Francisco. He was a director in many of the city's financial institutions, among others, the First National Bank and German Savings and Loan Society. Wow. It looks like this fell over, because that's the backside, and whereas that was the front, and this is the backside. This is the final resting place of Alice Ritchie Simpkins Coleman. She was born April 10th, 1871, and died 13th of October, 1915. I found a little bit about her on the Find a Grave app. It said she was the wife of Robert Louis Coleman, and a well-known capitalist, is dead today after succumbing at her Hillsborough home following a long illness. For years, she was a prominent in society circles of San Francisco and the peninsula. Miss Coleman is survived by her husband and two children, Robert L. Coleman Jr. and Miss Cara Coleman. Before her marriage, Miss Coleman was Alice Simpkins of Brooklyn, New York. And that was from the Los Angeles Herald, October 14th, 1915. So she's in here with, looks like her spouse and her parents, Charles Henry and Kate Ritchie Simpkins. It's kind of hard to see, but Alice is center in the top spot. Looks as though Alice Simpkins Coleman. There's a hole down here in the mesh. I don't know if we can see much more, but Alice is right above that basket in the center there. One last look at this beautiful, beautiful work of art. And even on the sides, there's bench areas to sit. Kind of hidden behind the bushes here, but you could sit out here too. It's pretty good size. Here's a final resting place of the Strother family, namely a gentleman named Fleet Floyd Strother. Now, on the Find a Grave app, I found a small newspaper article about him. Somebody had uploaded. It says, Fleet F. Strother, for a number of years, prominently connected with St. Paul politics. Died last week in San Francisco. He was 61 years of age. Looks like they got the birth at 1836 in Washington, D.C., and the death at May 17th, 1900 in San Francisco. And it looks like they have a bust of him too. There's just stone. Use the top one here. I'm not sure how well it comes out. It's kind of hard to see. It's really faint. But we got Elizabeth. Looks like Tyrone, Ireland, and Margaret, Ireland, I do believe too. And here's the bust of Fleet Strother. That's an interesting name, Fleet. I just happened to be walking by here, going to somewhere else, and this bust caught my eye, and I thought, this has got to be somebody. And sounds like he was. Fleet Strother. I like the bust. It's very, very cool. This beautiful monument is for Timothy Guy Phelps. He was a U.S. congressman, a native of New York. He first moved to California in 1849 following the gold rush. In 1855, he was elected to serve in the California State Assembly until 1857, when he was elected to the state senate. In 1861, after turning down a nomination to campaign for governor of California, he was elected to the United States House of Representatives, serving until 1863. He would later make an unsuccessful campaign for governor of California in 1875 against William Irwin. With the coming of the Civil War, he became close friends with President Abraham Lincoln and would serve as an advisor to the president on the West Coast. In 1865, he helped to found the Southern Pacific Railroad and would serve as its first president until 1868. He also served as collector of customs in San Francisco from 1870 until 1872, and again from 1890 until 1893. Timothy Guy Phelps. Born the 20th of December, 1824, Oxford County, New York. Death, 11th of June, 1899, San Carlos, San Mateo County, California. This guy had ties to Abraham Lincoln. Let's go up inside this monument. His name is up top here. Looks like there was some kind of decorative tile here, but looks like it's covered up with dirt and rainwater and everything else. There's his name up there. I kind of got it zoomed in. I think I can see it. Yeah, I can see it. Hopefully you guys can as well. Well, that was a cool one to end it on. Timothy Guy Phelps. There's a lot more to cover in this cemetery, guys. I'm just kind of scratching the surface up in here. Thank you all so much for watching. If you are digging this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and click that bell icon. Therefore, you can be notified of all of my future uploads. There's more people of interest in here. There's more historic type figures in here. I'm going to try to find them for you guys. All right, guys, peace out. See you next time.